Don't you think it's interesting how most people never seem to be happy with themselves? No matter what we do, what we have, or how we look, it never seems to be good enough. We constantly compare ourselves to everyone else, what they are doing, what they look like, what they have achieved, so much so that we forget who we are, we forget our qualities, and forget that being unique is our greatest asset. What we must realize is this constant comparison is not only detrimental to our mental well-being, but also impact our personal growth. Usually, as a student myself, I always tend to compare myself with others negatively and end up feeling bad about it. Hence, I feel I have the right to talk about this topic to share a little of my experiences on how I face and cope with this problem every time. In addition, of course, I have done a lot of research to strengthen my speech, to convey more facts and solid evidence to persuade you to stop comparing yourself with others. My name is Fatina Bila. Now I will be giving a speech to persuade you to stop comparing yourself with others. According to the research conducted by census-wide across England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern England, with 1,000 general respondents around the age of 16 to 24 years old, it was shown that 92% of respondents said they experienced negative consequences as a result of comparing themselves to others online. As a result, they had experienced low self esteem, low mood, anxiety, feeling like a failure, and what is most dangerous is the respondents even experienced suicidal thoughts as a result of comparing themselves to others. There is also a research that people who always compare themselves with others will feel motivated to improve themselves. However, usually it will be more about dissatisfaction, envy, remorse, guilt, engage in destructive behaviors like anger and aggression by destroying and damaging property or themselves. We can conclude from this, whether online or in real life, comparison really can kill somebody mentally or physically slowly until we had no desire to live anymore. And I think it's time to realize that there is actually no benefit in letting this habit continue and start taking steps to focus on ourselves. So, the question is how to stop comparing yourself with others? What is the solution to stop this behavior and live our life freely without comparison? So, firstly, count your blessing or practice gratitude. Be grateful for what you have. We always overlook it because we see too much the parts or enjoyments that others are going through to not notice what we have now. She has more money than me. She has a bigger house than me. Why am I not as clever as her? How she could be so talented while me is so useless. What we don't realize is what we have now is actually better for us and more than enough. Someone's life may seem better, but they might be another person out there wishing they had what you had. There's always something, even just one thing, for which you can be thankful. My house may not be as big as hers, but at least I have a house. At least I have a place to stay. So it's how we see things what matters the most. I have a tip that I have done ever since now, which is keeping a journal, keeping a gratitude journal. It is almost impossible to experience negative thoughts when we are thankful for what we have. Based on my experience, writing a gratitude journal has helped me a lot. When my brain regularly keeps track all my flaws, writing down things I should be grateful for helps me to clear things out that there is a thousand out there, a thousand things to be grateful. Okay, I'm going, I will give you an example. Whenever I feel down, unmotivated, useless, I will stop and think for a second. No, this is not right. I will grab my journal and sit on my bed. I will write down lists to remind myself what I have now which Allah has blessed me with, to remind me of why I should be grateful. It looks simple, but this is the things that I have done that helps me get through hardships. So after counting your blessing and practice gratitude, what can it benefits you if you stop comparing yourself with others? What can it benefits you? Of course, firstly, you will gain self-acceptance. When you ignore other people's life and your achievement and stop comparing yourself with others negatively, you give yourself an enormous gift, which is the freedom to be you. Lisa Nicholas once said, this leads to increased self-acceptance, um, which then boosts your self-esteem, confidence, and self-worth because you allow yourself to succeed at what you are good at. She added, it also allows you to be authentic, which is the magic ingredient most people are attracted to anywhere. You will understand better and realize that everyone is unique and different. Everyone is different and unique, okay? Everyone is struggling with different things. Doesn't mean your life are any less important when good things happens to them. So, Prefer says, Prefer says it is virtually impossible to make a fair comparison between your life and someone else's. You will embrace the uniqueness of what makes you who you are. So we have come at the end of my speech. I remind you back, I shared to you the solution to stop comparing yourself with others by counting your blessing and practice gratitude. And you will gain self acceptance if you stop comparing yourself with others. Now I urge you to embrace your individuality, appreciate your own journey, and celebrate your achievements without the constant backdrop of comparison. Strive to build a society where support and encouragement replace envy and competition. Remember, the only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday, or the person you were a month ago, and a person you were a year ago. Before I end my speech, the last thing I would recommend you to do is to search for a quiz which title, how often do you compare yourself with others? How often do you compare yourself with others? It may seem small, but I assure you it's really worth trying to really have a better look for how often and how serious you have compared yourself to others. Thank you.